Near the soft fire, cold the night, but warm is my heart with pride. Having you by my side, you're still my guiding light. After all these years,
We're not at the kissing bit yet. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. You may take your seats. Good afternoon. On behalf of Thomas and Mary, I would like to extend a very warm welcome to Airdrie Registration Office in this special day. My name is Claire Allen and I am an Assistant Registrar in this district. I have been authorised by the Registrar General to conduct and solemnise civil marriages in accordance with the laws of Scotland. A wedding is a day of celebration. It gives everyone a chance to witness for themselves the love that two people share. Thomas and Mary have found in each other love, happiness and fulfilment, and wish to affirm their relationship by marriage in the presence of their loved ones. It means a great deal to them both that you are here today to share in their happiness. As their family and friends, you have shared and contributed to their lives in the past, and by witnessing their marriage ceremony, they ask you to be part of their future. This afternoon we will witness and celebrate your decision to become husband and wife. It has been said that there is only one true happiness in life, to love and be loved. The best and most beautiful things in the world cannot be seen or touched, they must be felt by the heart. Thomas and Mary, today is a day you'll remember forever. You begin the day just two people in love and end it as husband and wife. This is the start of a beautiful journey for you both, the day you become joined in marriage, the day you promise to support, love and look after each other forever. Tomorrow and the coming years is sure to bring you much joy and happiness, but today is the day it all starts. Marriage is much more than a simple contract. It is founded on love, friendship and trust. A happy marriage requires devotion, the ability to listen, the wisdom to know when you're right and the strength to put things right. Faith and love will make it possible for you to share both the happy times and the difficult times that come throughout your married life, for love knows no limit to its endurance, no end of its trust and no fading of its hopes. Through the vows you will exchange here today, you make a commitment to each other for the rest of your lives. These words are a formal and public pledge of your love and dedication to each other. When you accept each other today as husband and wife, you are promising to share your lives with each other, face the future together through good times and bad, and support each other through the joys and sorrows of life. No other human ties are more tender or more binding than the commitment you make to each other today. I would now like to read a poem entitled A Promise. A marriage is a promise that two hearts gladly make, a promise to be tender, to help, to give and take. A marriage is a promise to be kind and understanding, to be thoughtful and considerate, fair and undemanding. A marriage is a promise to share one life together, a love-filled promise meant to be kept lovingly forever. We now reach the formal part of the ceremony, and before you're joined in marriage, I am bound to remind you of the solemn and firm nature of the relationship into which you're about to enter. Marriage, according to the law of Scotland, is a union voluntarily entered into for life to the exclusion of all others. You have already fulfilled all legal requirements by having your intention to marry published in this district. I'm sure you'll be delighted to know that no objections have been received. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll now ask our bride and groom to make those vows and declarations of marriage. Thomas, do you take Mary to be your lawful wedded wife, to live together in the security of marriage as long as you both may live?
I do.
Mary, do you take Thomas to be your lawful wedded husband, to live together in the security of marriage as long as you both may live?
I do.
I now require that you declare publicly that you know of no legal impediment why you may not be married. I normally ask you to hold hands, but we're already doing it. Thomas, if you could please repeat this declaration after me. I, Thomas Harkin,
I, Thomas Harkin,
do solemnly
do solemnly
and sincerely declare
and sincerely declare
that I know of no legal impediment
I know of no legal impediment
to my marrying Mary Breen,
to my marrying Mary,
whose hand I now hold.
and
Thank you. And Mary, I, Mary Breen,
I, Mary Breen,
do solemnly and sincerely declare
do solemnly and sincerely declare
that I know of no legal impediment, this is the last bit, I promise, to my marrying Thomas
to
Harkin,
my marrying Thomas Harkin,
whose hand I now hold.
whose hand I now hold.
Thank you. You'll now make vows and promises to each other in the presence of your loved ones. Again, Thomas, you're first. I call upon these persons here present
I call upon these persons here present
to witness that I, Thomas,
to witness that I, Thomas,
take you, Mary,
take you, Mary,
as my lawful wedded wife,
as my
to have and to hold
have and to hold
from this day forward,
from this day forward,
through the best and the worst,
through the best and the worst,
I will support and comfort you.
I will support and comfort you.
I will love and cherish you
I love and cherish you
with all of my heart
with all of my heart.
for the rest of our lives.
For the rest of our lives.
Thank you. And Mary, I call upon these persons present
I call upon these persons present
to witness that I, Mary,
to witness that I, Mary,
take you, Thomas,
take you, Thomas,
as my lawful wedded husband,
as my lawful wedded husband,
to have and to hold
to have and to hold
from this day forward.
from this day forward.
I will trust and honour you.
I will trust and honour you.
I will love and cherish you
I will love and cherish you
with all of my heart
with all of my heart
for the rest of our lives.
for the rest of our lives.
Thank you. We'll now have the exchange of rings. This is the traditional way of sealing your marriage. The wedding ring is an unbroken circle symbolising unending and everlasting love, and it is an outward sign of a lifelong promise you have made to each other. Before you exchange rings, I would like to read a short poem entitled The Wedding Ring. The sweetest story that's ever been told lies in the slim little circle of gold, joining two people as husband and wife to share in the joys and the sorrows of life. For richer or poorer, in sickness and health, your marriage can yield up a wonderful wealth of memories to treasure and hopes to renew, all part of the promises made by you two. With faith in each other and love as your guide, as long as forever you'll walk side by side, and the shining reminder of how much you care will lie in this little gold band that you wear. Okay, Thomas, you got the rings. If you could please give Mary's ring to that. Okay, and Thomas, as you put it on her finger, oh, he's keen, right, a minute. Thomas, as you put it on her finger, please repeat after me. I give you this ring. I give you this ring as a symbol of our marriage,
Symbol of our marriage.
for today and tomorrow,
For the day and tomorrow.
and all days to come.
And all days to come.
Thank you. Okay, and Mary? Again, as you put it on Thomas's finger, please repeat after me. I give you this ring
I give you this ring
as a symbol of our marriage,
as a symbol of our marriage
for today and tomorrow,
for today and tomorrow
and all days to come.
and all days to come.
The wedding ring is placed on the third finger of the left hand. This tradition stems from the ancient belief that the vein in this finger travels directly to the heart. Ceremonies may differ and vows are often unique, but the tradition of the wedding ring has survived through the ages and probably will for eternity. These rings have been given and received as a token that you both accept the status and responsibility of marriage, and they are symbols of your love and commitment to each other. May they always remind you of the vows you have made. You are now taking into your care and keeping the happiness of the person in whom you love the most. You are adding to your life the affection and companionship of each other. You are agreeing to share your life, your love and your responsibilities with each other for the years to come. I ask you both as you stand before your family and friends to remember these values, to always be sincerely interested in each other's happiness and consistent in your love for each other. Today is the start of a new life together. If you remain as committed and loving to one another as you are here today, I'm sure you'll live a full and rich life together for the years to come. We hope the ordinary things you share will be special, and the special things will become exceptional. We hope everything about your day and the coming years holds nothing but happiness for you both. Following the vows and promises you have declared before myself and these witnesses, it gives me pleasure to declare that you are now husband and wife. Thomas, you may kiss your bride.